What's up, YouTube? This is Dave with D2 Fit Life. I recently passed my National Association of Sports Medicine Certified Personal Trainer exam, or the NASM CPT. I wanted to talk about some of the study habits, some of the things I did to pass the exam, some of the things I could have done better. I also want to talk about some of the misconceptions that are out there online about the NASM exam and how different it is from the actual practice exam, or how hard it is, and some of the things you could expect. So the first thing I want to talk about is the package. So you need to go to the NASM website and purchase a package. The packages range somewhere from like $600 to $1,800, and from the more basic ones, it's like the exam and the book, to the one with the most comprehensive one, which has like exam, the book, study guide, and e-teach, flashcards, multiple practice exams, and work experience, I believe. I think that was the one that was the highest cost. I got one that was a little bit lower to that, which included most of all that stuff minus the work experience. I think I spent about $1,000 for it. Now, I wanted that one mainly because I like the retest option. So if you fail, then you don't need to purchase another test. You get your feedback, it's already part of your package, and you can retest. Luckily I didn't fail, but I had less stress because, to me, I went in there with the attitude that if I fail, it's just get some feedback on what you need to improve upon and retake the test. So that was the reason why I chose that package. For me, you get up to 6 months. 6 months to take the test. I took all 6 months. I read through the material once, and then I took some notes. I kind of lost a little bit of interest or got sidetracked, and then I did it again. I started rereading stuff, start practicing exams, etc. And then the last month I got real serious about it, and I started studying every single day and going over the games, going over my notes, going over reading, and trying to comprehend as much as I could about the information I needed to pass the test. And that's pretty much all I did. It wasn't a very structured way of doing it. I just started and finished, but it wasn't like I followed the study guide step by step by step by step and did everything in a row. And I'd like to talk about that next. Maybe some of the things that I would have done knowing all the information I know now. Knowing what I know now, I think I would have did it a little more in a structured manner. It would have been more efficient, and I could have learned faster. So they do offer the e-teach course, and I would have started with that when I was serious and when I'm ready to start the actual course. So when you're ready and you're ready to start the course, that's when you want to start that e-teach, because they tell you to read several chapters, you take quizzes, you take exams, you do some writings, there's a forum, there's a lot going on in that e-teach that can really help keep everybody on track. And I didn't find out about that until kind of like halfway through or so, and that would have helped out. It was very knowledgeable. There's a lot of good information in there, and it keeps you on track of everything you need to do. So the main thing I would have done is taken the e-teach course, stayed on a structure plan, and then after I finish the e-teach, maybe take one more month to re-go over everything and then take the test. So I want to talk about some of the misconceptions out there about the NASM test and how hard it is, how different. The main misconception out there is how different it is from the practice exams. There's a lot of forums out there where people are talking about how different it is and how hard it is. And I disagree. I do not have a background in sports science or kinesiology or anything like that. I pretty much read the book, took notes, tried to comprehend the material, take the practice exams, feedback myself, and then continue to learn. And I could tell you that the test is very close to what the practice exams are. There's not a lot of difference. The only difference between the test and the practice exam is that you have to think a little bit and comprehend the information just a little bit. So when you're taking the test, you want to read those questions sometimes 2 times, maybe even 3 times, and then look through all the answers and then make a little bit of sense of it and answer it. So if all you did was go through the practice exams a million times until you feel like you know the information, you will fail. You will fail the exam, and that's good. It's quality control. You don't want people who just memorize exams teaching you how to squat or teaching you how to do something. So that's the main difference. But if I had to compare how close the practice exam was compared to the actual test, it's pretty similar. If you're doing pretty well without just remembering every single answer on the practice exam, you will do well on the regular exam. So I would not be overly concerned with that aspect. Now I just want to talk a little bit about the test itself during the day of the test. The one thing I would make sure of is that you do have your driver's license with you, your form of identity, your CPR card. I was registering with another person, and he had a driver's license that expired and had a note from the DMV that said it's good, but they didn't accept it. So make sure you go in there with your proof of identity right to the T, because they will kick you out and you'll have to come back another day. So just keep that in mind. Now the test itself, some of the main stuff that it focused on, or at least the one I did, it seems like they were really big about stage 1 and stage 2 of the OPT model, stabilization and the muscular endurance part. They asked a lot of acute variables about that, at least for mine. I would say at least 8 to 10 questions on the whole overhead squat assessment, so know that well. Know all the acute variables from all of the levels, know all that very well. And a lot of it was just knowing the material. And if you do well, like I was saying, if you're doing well on the practice exams, and it's not just like, oh, because I remembered that question from the last time I took it, then you will do fine. I didn't find it overly hard. If I had to guess how much I got right, it would probably have been around 85 to 90, somewhere around there. I know I missed some stuff. The other thing that was kind of weird was the professional development stuff. I didn't spend a lot of time reading that, and they had like at least 4 or 5 questions on some of the stuff that I thought was just going to be obvious, and I got some of them right, but I missed some that was probably I could have got if I took a little more time to read that chapter. So I just wanted to get that information out there to anybody. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them. And as always, don't forget to subscribe.